Alright. Hoy en día es un poco frío. Muy frío. Mucho rubio. Pero esta tarde el sol. Vamos. Muy bien. It's a bit cold here in Spain. It's getting cold. Okay. I'm running out of tails with some of these guitars, but this one certainly has one. We've gone through, I don't know, 4 or 5 of them. This one is a Sunburst 1968 335. It would have originally had the stop tailpiece here, where you see that custom-made plaque. Someone has added this tailpiece and tremolo arm in at a later date, but it would have originally had the stock tailpiece here. But the story with this one, which is called, well, you can't see it, but on the little truss rod cover here it says Edna Lee. So those of you who know me also know that I've been unfortunate enough to be on the punt, as they say. I don't mind to have a little bit of a flutter, as my grandmother used to say, on the horses. Kind of have been doing that since I was 13. I won't say for better or for worse, because it's just for worse. It's the biggest mugs game out there, but we all have our things, yeah, that we do. It's the thing that I do. So when I'm trying to think what year it would have been exactly that I got this, I'm guessing around 2008, 2007, 2008, somewhere around there, maybe a little bit, maybe it was 2006. Anyway, I can't remember. Usually I can date them by thinking about what songs they played on and stuff like that, and sort of going back from some of the, the ones that I've had since I was a teenager and since I was in my early 20s. I can, I know when I got them more or less, but some of these other ones sort of have come along in the last sort of 15 years or so. Anyway, rambling on. So it's a Saturday, and it's a Saturday. I'm on my way to work. I'm living in Darlinghurst, walking down to the Great Illustrated Man Tattoo Studio, where I worked at for 17 years. Anyway, I stop in at the AAA Spa on the way to work and place a couple of little bets on the ponies, because I figure I'm going to be at work on Saturday from 10 in the morning until 6, 7 or 8 o'clock at night. Put some bets on the ponies and go to work and do my job, and then see the results when I've finished work. Anyway, I knocked off work, had a good day at work at the Illustrated Man, and walked back up to the AAA Spa on my way home to scan the tickets to see if, hey, cut it out. Woof. It's the Martians, yeah? They come in through the valves and stuff like that. That's how they communicate with me. Yeah. So I've scanned the tickets, and not only was it a very good day at the Illustrated Man tattooing people, it was a very good day on the punt with the ponies. A very good day. I checked one ticket, it was a winner. I checked the next ticket, it was a winner. Maybe I had 8 bets or something like that. 6 or 7 of them were winners, and not just winners that were favourites, like winners that were outsiders. It was a good day, I guarantee you. A good enough day that I thought to myself, what am I going to do with this money? I'm not the best saver in the world. I usually find a way to spend money if it's in my pocket. So I thought to myself, if I don't find something good to do with this money, and putting it in the bank wasn't an option for me at the time. So, yeah, gambling's no good, but I enjoy it. But anyway, I know that fucking people go on about whatever's politically correct or fucking woke or whatever bullshit that people are coming up. I do my thing and I treat people with respect and things with respect. If anyone's got a problem with me betting on horses, then keep the problem to yourself, because I'm not interested in hearing whatever fucking stuff you want to go on about. Anyway, it was a good day, and I thought, if I don't do something with this money that's practical, the money will go. So I thought, what do? I buy guitars. Well, I buy guitars that I like and guitars that I use. So I thought I should just go and find a guitar and buy a guitar. That way I don't really sell them that often or very much at all. I think maybe in my life I've only sold like 3 or 4 guitars that I've ever bought. You know what I mean? I buy them because I like them. You know what I mean? Like once I sort of learned about what I like and what I want to hear, I didn't just buy junk because it looked cool. I bought guitars because I liked them and I wanted them to do a certain thing. So that they're practical. They're not just a toy for me. So I go home and, you know, I go online to try to find something. Anyway, I see this guy's trying to sell this on eBay for a lot of money. And again, eBay for guitars is not my kind of thing. And I worked out that he was in Sydney. So I sent the guy a message and I said, listen, I don't do eBay. Like if I'm interested in buying the guitar, but I want to play it. And only for like, it'll be less than a couple of minutes. I just need to hold it in my hands, play a couple of chords, and I'll work out whether it's for me or not. You know what I mean? But I'm not doing it blind on eBay. So if you're interested in selling it, I live in Sydney, you live in Sydney, like let's meet up. So he agreed to meet up. We met up somewhere near the Annandale Hotel on the Sunday. You know what I mean? 'Cause I knew that if that money was sitting in my pocket for too long, I'd end up betting it on more horses and losing, because that's what you do. You fucking gambling's a mug's game. Anyway, I thought we meet on Sunday. He pulls the guitar out, puts it on the bonnet of his car, opens up the case. I take a look at it and sort of check it out, check there's no breaks in it, stuff like that. Hold the guitar, play a couple of chords, and I put it back in the case. And his wife was with him. And his wife, I looked up as I put the guitar back in the case after only like, I don't know, less than a minute. His wife shakes her head and makes some sort of like, I knew it kind of thing, like he's not interested, you know. I looked at the guy and I said, okay. I said, so how much did you want for it? And we start to negotiate. And he's like, so that's all you got to do. And I said, you just have to hold it. I said, I told you on the message that I just need to hold it in my hands and you know what I mean? I'll work the rest out. If there's something wrong with the pickups, I could tell it. The guitar was, like I said, except for this tail piece, it's pretty much original. So if there was anything else wrong with it that I couldn't see physically, you know what I mean, with it broken, I'd be able to sort it out. So we negotiated and made a deal and stuff like that, and he had written out, you know, an invoice with the serial number on it and all these sorts of, you know, semi-legal shit that you need to do when you're selling a guitar to someone. Made a deal. Like I said, I had a bunch of money from the ponies and got this guitar. Now, I closed the latches on the case. I've handed him the cash. He's counted the cash. Everyone's happy. I pick the guitar up in my hands, and just as I'm about to walk away, he says to me, listen, there's one thing you need to know about that guitar. And I'm like, motherfucker, like, don't you, like, what's he going to tell me now that I've handed over cash that he shouldn't have told me before? He goes, listen, I've got to tell you the story about the guitar. And I was like, okay. I said, listen, if there's something fucking dodgy going on, you need to hand that cash back over now, because, like, I'm not having it. He goes, no, it's all good. It's all okay, yeah? Don't worry. He said, I bought the guitar in 1997 in New York City. And I said, yeah, and? And he goes, look, I'm selling a lot of my guitars. I'm Dutch. I'm moving back to Holland. I've got 50 guitars or something like that, and I'm trying to sell sort of 30 of them, 35 of them or something like that. He said, but I bought this guitar in 1997 and in New York City. And then he said, and I said, yeah, and what's the story? And he goes, do you know who Johnny Guitar Watson is? And I said, yeah, like the guy who sort of came up through the 50s with Chuck Berry and different things, and then sort of got more into funk in the 70s, 60s and 70s, blah, blah, blah. He goes, yeah, that guy. And he goes, he died in 1996 in Japan. And I said, well, no, you know what I mean? I'm like, I know who he is and I've heard his music, but I'm not a super fan and know everything about him. And he goes, well, this was one of his guitars. And I said, so how did you get it? And he goes, well, when he died, he was on tour in Japan. And his guitar guy, his guitar tech, was left stranded there with nothing. Hadn't been paid, no money, no nothing. So he made some phone calls to the family and blah, blah, blah. And they sort of said to him, like, look, just take one or two of the guitars as you know what I mean, for taking care of everything and stuff like that. So he brung this guitar back to him to New York City, and that's where the guy bought it. So this guitar used to belong to Johnny Guitar Watson before he passed away. Now I'm trying to think of what I've used this guitar on. I'm pretty sure that I used this guitar along with the Telecaster for the song Brother Graham Says. A combination of both guitars in the studio worked really well. It was like, with this guitar, after owning it for a really short period of time, that the marriage of this guitar and the 64 AC30 top boost over here, when you hit, I don't know if it's me and I'm crazy, but on certain guitars, there's certain positions I've noticed on my guitars, or whether it's the way I play them, but there's certain positions on guitars that really stick out. Excuse me. I ain't got the virus, so don't worry. I've got lots of other things, but I ain't got the virus. There's certain positions or certain phrases that you play on certain guitars that really stick out. Like this guitar, it sounds like this and the 355 here are similar guitars. They're both Gibson guitars made within sort of 2 or 3 years of each other. If I had to choose one, I'd choose the 355. I've had it for a very long time. I feel very attached to it. Maybe the pickups are a little sweeter when they're overdriven. But this guitar, certainly when you hit certain open chords and certain notes down here, it seems to really fucking, like, the voice of the guitar seems to come out more than if you're just chugging away on chords. When you hit, so I knew within Brother Graham Says, when it goes to the bridge, that I would be using open chords and go to a G chord, and the G chord through that, look, I could be crazy, but when you hit a G chord through the AC30 with this guitar, it just projects the sound. It's again, maybe it's fucking me, maybe it's the Martians, maybe it's whatever, you know what I mean? What about the bad? I had a fucking haircut yesterday. It's taken a couple of days to settle into the old JC Melon a little bit, but it'll get there in the end. So I knew when it went to the bridge in that song, it was like, some days time keeps running away. Every once in a while you hoped it would stay. be going to the G chord. So I knew that I wanted to use this guitar to do that. Trying to think of other things. Maybe more recently I used it on, it's not a shameless plug because I'll be absolutely honest with, I'm always as honest as I can be, but I use Facebook and Instagram to not necessarily sell myself, but to sell whatever musical or tattoo adventure that I'm on. Yeah. For me, it's not a social platform. It's a promoting platform. And I make no apologies for that at all. Like I try to make it entertaining for myself, and if it entertains others, then so be it. But anyway, I digress. I'm fucking getting away from the point of the agenda here. I have a new single that comes out in a week or so called Another Girl from a box set of singles which comes out in February. This guitar also sounded good, again with open ringing chords. But the reason that I used it on that song was because the guitar solo was gonna, I don't necessarily write guitar solos, I usually just sort of play them in the moment, so to speak. But with this particular song, I had a real sort of idea of, it wasn't meticulously written, the solo, but I knew where I wanted to be and the notes that I wanted to use at certain points of the solo and the music that it was playing over the top of. And I knew that it would be here, playing more sort of open things here, but it would end up here. And for some reason, again, with this guitar, when you're down in this position, the notes really throw on this guitar. You can be here and it sounds great, but when you get to here, it seems to sort of really fucking jump out at the end. But so the solo was something like, was there, and I knew that from there it was going to go up to here. So again, this amp, the guitar's going directly into the Little Elk Stage Man, which is a little 70s, 60s amp from Japan. There's no pedals or anything like that, and in the studio, that's the way I like to keep it. It's like, just drive the amp, let the guitar talk. I've got enough of the things and enough of the amp so that I should be able to get what I need, the combination. So after that, the solo would go. I knew it would work on this guitar because of, like I said, the different positions that really sort of seemed to jump out. Now, I don't know what that translates into a recording on this telephone here, but like if you're in this room, you could hear that the guitar really starts to talk and really starts to hum in those different positions. But I'm not going to ramble on too much because I found that some of my little things here have been going for too long, and maybe they've been boring the shit out of you people. But it's a good guitar. Edna Lee. It's called Edna Lee. It was named Edna Lee, I guess, by Johnny Guitar Watson. No virus, don't worry. Your old pal Johnny is doing okay. Dirty old river, must you keep rolling until the night? People so busy make me feel dizzy, backseat light shines so bright, but I don't feel afraid as long as I gaze on Waterloo sunset. I'll be in paradise. Every day I look at the world from my window. Chilly, chilly is evening time. Waterloo sunset's fine. Waterloo sunset's fine. Waterloo sunset's fine. Anyway, why I played that I don't know, but I guess I'm demonstrating that with this hand you can keep it really clean, and then you can, you know, it talks. You hit it hard, like you push it, you know what I mean, like using this hand as opposed to stomping your foot on a pedal, which I know we all got to do sometimes, but it responds to the way that you play it. I think lots of guitars, there's too many bad guitars out there that don't respond to the physical nature of how you play them, but this one certainly does. So it was one of the I guess the tale of the tape is it was one of those days that I had a good day on the punt, and I benefited with this beautiful 1968 335 from an era when Gibson made good guitars. There you go, being cheeky again and ragging on Gibson guitars. Well, on the ones that were made maybe from the 90s onwards. That'll do, yeah. If you made it all the way to the end, thanks for that. New music coming out soon that I really enjoyed making, and I think you can hear it in the music too. So anyway, be well, be safe, be patient, and love each other. But none of that hippie shit. But just like, you know, do your best. Gracias.